I taught guitar for about 7 years, and at one point was making about $50,000 a year just as a guitar instructor. I was teaching a lot, and I reached a point where I was burnt out, and I quit for many years. But recently I've started taking on a few students again to supplement my income and to help others develop their talent. As you'll soon see, this program is all about diversification and having multiple streams of income from your music and skills. Besides just being a smart approach, it also prevents, or at least helps you avoid, getting tired of doing any one particular thing. If you're teaching 12-year-old kids how to play guitar 40 hours a week, that can get old fast and can make you feel very distant from your true goals as a performer or songwriter, if you have those goals. But if you're just teaching a handful of students a week and performing and licensing your music and selling your music online, then it's just kind of fun and it feels like you're giving back and sharing your craft with the community. It's all about balance and perspective. Even though I gave guitar lessons for the first time when I was in high school, it wasn't until I was about 26 that I went back to doing it full time. The main reason I was reluctant to teach as an adult is due to the nature of teaching. I knew that it would take me a while to build up a full roster of students, and I've always looked for jobs where I had a guaranteed salary. It wasn't until a period of unemployment when I was 26 that I decided to give teaching a try again. I actually ended up really enjoying teaching for a while. It didn't take me that long to get a full schedule of students, and I was eventually hired on salary as the executive director of a small music school in the suburbs of Chicago. In addition to this job, I also gave lessons on the side to anywhere from 5 to 15 extra students per week. I was really busy with teaching back then, and I ultimately ended up moving on to other revenue streams. But like I said, I still usually teach a few hours a week, and it helps me keep my income steady when other revenue streams I rely on fluctuate, as they tend to do. I also enjoy teaching in the sense that it's a great way to give back and help other aspiring guitar players discover and develop their own talents. It's very rewarding to see students I taught as kids and teenagers go on to form bands and develop their talents as adults. We all start somewhere, and I wouldn't be where I am today without all the great teachers I had growing up. If you're interested in pursuing teaching as one of your revenue streams, probably the quickest and easiest way to get started is just to approach music stores and music academies to see if they're looking for instructors. The industry has a pretty high turnover, so it's usually not that hard to find places looking for an extra instructor or two. Obviously, what you'll earn per hour will vary from region to region. I was making $35 an hour in the suburbs of Chicago back in 2007, the last year I taught full time. This was half of the $70 per hour they charged our students. Now, of course, if you can teach students privately outside of music stores and provide lessons in your own place or a space you rent, you can obviously earn more money since you won't have to share the money you make with anyone. After a few years of teaching guitar, I was pretty known as a teacher in the area where I used to live and would get approached regularly about giving lessons just through word of mouth. But I would also advertise on sites like Craigslist and would occasionally put ads in the local paper or Yellow Pages and things like that. The great thing about teaching is that you're your own boss, so you get experience with advertising and you learn how to grow your teaching business, which will ultimately help you in whatever direction you decide to go in as a musician. So the bottom line, teaching lessons is actually a good way to earn money as a freelance musician. You could certainly earn a respectable salary just from this income stream alone if you wanted to. For me personally, I didn't enjoy it enough to continue doing it full time, but I made a living as a teacher for many years before I moved on to other things, and I certainly don't consider myself above it. And like I said, I enjoy it when I do it on a part-time basis.